Doug, you know, in a perfect world, it's a bad look. In a perfect world, an organization wouldn't want a guy who participates in domestic violence or takes drugs or does any of the many other things, which you wouldn't compare. It's not apples to apples, but guys have baggage. The way this really works in sports, I think, for front offices and fans is, are you good? Can you help us win? Great. I mean, if there's a few people out with something to say outside of Yankee Stadium on the domestic violence issue on opening day, great. And that might happen, but what's really going to happen is if Chapman finds himself marching up Broadway on a float in a World Series parade, people are going to be throwing ticker tape at him or whatever paper it is they throw, and everything's going to be fine. And that's what Brian Cashman's doing here. He's making a savvy baseball move, and I'm sorry, but this is an amoral game. It's about, can you help me win? That's reality.
I think, too, you have to consider the price the Yankees paid to get Aroldis Chapman. I mean, this is somebody that we thought the Reds were going to use to really overhaul a farm system that needed overhauling, and they didn't get the Yankees' best prospect. I'm not sure they got one of the top 5 or even 10 Yankees' best prospects to unload Aroldis Chapman. I think the Yankees paid a very small price to get one of the best closers in baseball.
Yeah, and we honestly, like Andy was saying, we have to retire the idea that this is all chivalry and hallowed baseball teams doing things the right way and all that stuff. It's pro sports. It's about winning. It's about getting paid big money. And this is a win move by the Yankees, getting this guy at a discounted price, like Wayne said, because he was steeply discounted. Let's not make a mistake. This is not a group of prospects that the Yankees needed to hold on to. They got none of their, quote, untouchables. So, you know, as a baseball move, great. You know, the rest of it, you know, you feel a little icky about, and, you know, there's some stuff that Chapman's going to have to go through in terms of the MLB's investigation and the law and all that sort of thing, and we'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, I mean, there are going to be some people who are angry about it, but there are going to be fewer people angry about it if this guy is raising his arms after a playoff save.
Right, and we should make this point. There's so much we don't know, us and Major League Baseball at this point, in terms of what kind of suspension possibly that Chapman could be facing. From what you hear from people, what are some numbers? Is he going to miss the first half of the season? He's going to miss just a handful of games. Do we have any idea at this point what he's going to miss?
Well, it's a great mystery. I mean, this is why, Doug, of course, the Yankees got a discount. I think there's an assumption here that he's probably going to miss some time. But there's 2 reasons why this is very, very hard to figure. Number one, this is a brand new policy. It's never been done before with baseball, so they're in a tough spot. Chapman and Jose Reyes. The thing about Reyes is there was an arrest, there's a mugshot, there's a whole court situation there that MLB can lean on. With Chapman, it's disputed. Now, if you read the Yahoo Sports report, they broke the story. There's stuff there that's pretty damning. Like, for example, Chapman admitted to firing 8 gunshots in his garage. 7 of them hit the concrete wall. 1 of them went on a window and into an open field. His infant was in the house when he shot his gun. He and his girlfriend are disputing exactly what happened between the 2 of them. If I'm Rob Manfred, I'm thinking, oh, wow, that is a lot to sift through. Right. So trying to come up with a number of games. I mean, do they have any legal ground to stand on since there was no arrest? These are all questions that MLB created for itself by creating this policy, and this is going to be a mess for them to try to figure out.
And there's pressure, I think, too, for the Yankees that, you know, PR standpoint, they think about these things, but they've had bad PR in the past. They've seen Alex Rodriguez overcome what he's overcome as far as a public persona is concerned. So the worst-case scenario, there are charges, there are suspensions, and Aroldis Chapman's out a couple of months. But then do Yankees fans care about that, or will they be cheering his first strikeout, his first save? I think it all comes out in the wash at the end of the day. From a baseball standpoint, maybe the aesthetics don't look great right now for the Yankees, but as long as he has just a mustache and no beard and no long hair, what's the difference?
Sports is cynical and hypocritical, and, you know, welcome to reality, people.
Well, and is there a lot of pressure on the commissioner here? Because they do have this new policy, you know, which they implemented after, you know, one of their rival leagues, the NFL, had a lot of domestic violence issues, and they put their tough policy into place, and now he's got, you know, a star player and the biggest franchise in the sport, and is he going to have to come with a big suspension to put some weight behind the new policy that, you know, sort of gives him, you know, it's maybe a referendum on his commissionership, at least the early stages of it. What happens here with him and Reyes, with Chapman and Reyes?